Hi, this is Cathy for Trans by Deaf, and this week we have a very interesting question to discuss, which is do-it-yourself transition or DIY transition. I have given this question a little bit of thought on there. First off, there are two ways in which I can interpret the question. The first one is that you are doing your transition all by yourself, and you need to comment on trying to transition alone. The second way of looking at the question is if you are in charge of your transition, you need to look at it and plan your transition as you go. I would like to address the first sub-question here of transitioning alone. I think it is a very, very bad idea to try and transition by withdrawing from society around you, withdrawing from the people around you, and trying to live alone and be isolated from everybody in the world. Many people quit their job and take a year just to live as a woman or as in the gender that they want rather than their birth gender. I don't believe that isolating yourself in such a way to give yourself time to adjust is a good idea. I believe that leads to even more intense gender dysphoria and leads to depression and could very easily result in suicide because you would feel so alone and be so isolated from everyone else. Now, to look at the other way in which I could interpret the question, do-it-yourself transition, I would look at that as a positive thing and say, for that part of the question, you are in charge of your transition, you are doing it yourself, and you're in control. With that, the way in which I would answer that part of the question would be to say, one, you need to seek the support of those that are around you. I think keeping people around you who love and care about you are very important. I think those people who, after you've initially told them that you're going to transition to be a woman or transition to be the gender which you would like to be, that support you, I think you need to strengthen those friendships and spend time going and seeing them and spend time being out and about in the gender which you are trying to achieve and which you are going to become. I think that is one of the most important things in your transition, is to not become a recluse and move back into your shell, but move out into the society and become the person that you've always wanted to be. I think that is the most important concept in doing it yourself transition. The second thing is to seek the support of your family, if they are willing to support you, to associate with them, and to allow them to adjust to you, and you to adjust to them. I think that is a very important part of doing your transition yourself. The next part is, I believe that as you're transitioning, you must seek out a good gender therapist and a good physician or endocrinologist to help you with your transition. I believe that if you have a therapist who is talking with you on a regular basis and making life easier for you to cope with, and when you hit those problems, and I know that you're going to hit those problems, I did, a gender therapist who has had some experience working with those problems can direct you and lead you and walk you around a lot of the problems which you would be having, whereas if you do not have anybody there to help you, it would create a major depression problem. So I would say your gender therapist and regular visits to that gender therapist and being honest and upfront with that gender therapist are some of the most important things that you can do, is to talk with them and be with them and help them and let them help you and help them to understand what you're going through and the problems that you're encountering. Also, I believe that your family doctor and your endocrinologist are very important, because if you don't have the proper balance of hormones and your system gets out of balance, you're not going to feel good. So I think part of the do-it-yourself idea is that you plan to go and see your doctor and work on it. I think the next part of this idea of your transition is for you to make sure that you are adjusting your lifestyle and the things which are around you to fit with the person you are inside. Are you developing new recreational activities? Are you continuing to do the recreational activities you did as a man? Are those that you're doing as a man appropriate to a woman? Are you able to transition in those activities? I believe getting out and participating with people around you is a very important and necessary part of controlling your own transition and doing your transition yourself. You have got to get out and develop new interests, meet new friends, and be associated with new people, and have recreational activities which allow you to relax and to be comfortable in the life that you're living as a woman. And I think that you must consider in planning your own transition and doing your transition yourself, your recreational pursuits and your leisure time activities, because those are the things that relieve a lot of gender dysphoria. When you're out there doing an activity as a woman, when I'm out there doing an activity as a woman, I feel so much better than I ever did as a man. Even if they're activities which are more male-dominant, I still, when I'm in the mode as my real self as a woman, feel so much happier out there doing those things as a woman and participating as a woman. It relieves a lot of the other stress on life. Also, when you're doing your self-transition, you have got to look at your workplace and the job that you're in and say, how can I relieve the stress and gender dysphoria that's there, and how do I cope with the people who cannot accept me as a female or in the gender role that I am transitioning to, and really deal with those people as I go through life. Those are the things which I think are the most important in dealing with do-it-yourself transition. I would strongly, in kind of in a summary, I would strongly urge you not to withdraw into a shell and pull away from people and say, I'm going to spend a year in my apartment getting used to being a woman before I go out. You should gradually go out and gradually get used to being the gender that you want. The next thing is to go and plan your transition. Make new friends, go new places, do new recreational activities that cause you to relax, continue to do those recreational activities that you enjoyed as a man, and do them as a woman. I have found that there is so much pleasure and so much relief of all dysphoria when I'm out doing the things that I want to do as a woman, whereas as a man I did not enjoy them as much. Well, I thank you for all of your time, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.